Okay, welcome to our next installment of the Alien Invasions project. So before we get into creating our aliens, I just want to take a moment to kind of go through a process that's important for coding these larger projects and always kind of taking a step back to think about your overall plan and what you've done so far. So we're just going to kind of review our project so far and think about what we need to do in the next few steps. So we need to examine our code to determine if we need to refactor before adding any new features. Now we've been kind of refactoring as we've been going along, so I don't think there's anything we need to do at this moment because we've been working on it so far. And we're going to continue to refactor as we move through here. But this is something that you should be thinking about and considering when you're making your own projects. Always taking a step to think, is there a way I can kind of make this code a little better? The next step then is we're going to add a single alien to the top left corner and make sure that it's got appropriate spacing between it. We're going to use that first alien and its spacing to determine the number of aliens that can fit in a row. We're going to use a loop to create and fill the upper portion of the screen. So that's going to kind of get everything filled up with the aliens. But then the question is, they're just going to sit there or they're going to move? And we're going to make our fleet move sideways. And as soon as it hits one of the walls, it's going to kind of come down a little bit, and then go back the other direction, and then kind of move down a little bit, and then come move back the other direction. It's going to keep oscillating back and forth and moving down as our ship continues to shoot at it. So it's going to keep going through here until one of three conditions are met. Either we shoot down the entire fleet, so there are no more aliens in the fleet, or one of the aliens hits our ship, or if one of the aliens touches the ground. If the fleet is shot down, then we're going to make a new one and we'll level up from there. If an alien hits the ground or the ship, then we're going to destroy the ship and we'll make a new fleet. Now, when we destroy the ship, we are going to limit the number of ships that a player gets. So if when that ship is destroyed, there are no remaining ships to use, then the game should end. And that's how we're going to program the next aspect of our program. So let's start with that. Let's take a look at where we are. So we are going to make aliens. So I think the first step here, you would agree, is to make a new file. And we're going to call this alien.py. And in alien.py, we're going to do a couple things here to be able to do this. First thing we're going to do, though, is you're going to need to get your alien image. Okay, so before we get too far into this, we just want to make sure that you have the correct image for the alien, which again is going to be located in the Google Classroom Python Alien Invasion resource files. You should be able to see the alien.bmp file. Make sure you download that and save that into your Alien Invasion folder, which is inside of your VS Code. And it should be in this images folder where the other ship was located as well. So now that we have that, we can start to think about our alien.py. A couple imports we need to bring in here. Import pygame. And from there, so from pygame .sprite, you are going to import a sprite. And then we'll begin by creating our class alien, and it is going to again be a child class of sprite. And we'll put our doc string in here, a class to represent a single alien in the fleet. All right, and let's begin with doing the init method. Okay, and so let's come on down here, and we're going to define our init method. Okay, so inside the self, besides the self, we're again going to send it an AI game, and then we'll give ourselves a doc string for this, and this is going to initialize the alien and set its starting position. So again, we're going to call these super method, and we're going to tag on the init so that we inherit from the sprite class everything we need. And we're going to create a self.screen, and we're going to assign that to be the AI game.screen. And then of course we need to load in the alien image and set its rectangle attributes. So self.image, if you remember how we did this before, is going to be a pygame.image.load, and then again in quotations we'll use images/alien.bmp, and that's the file that you should get off of Google Classroom and save as your alien. And we could do a self.rectangle is going to be equal to the self.image.get the rectangle from the image. So it's going to figure out how large the image is and use that image size to set the rectangle of itself. Okay, so another hashtag here, and we're going to start each new alien near the top of the screen, as top left as we can get. And we're going to do that with self.rectangle.x equals self.rectangle.width and self.rectangle.y will equal the self.rectangle.height. And then of course we are going to store the alien's exact locations. I'm really just concerned about the horizontal positioning. And that's going to be self.x will equal a float. And we'll do self.rectangle.x. Okay, so its x position will be its rectangle's position turned into a float, again, so that it can be able to work with decimal place values instead of integers, which the rectangles require. So we have created our alien class. Let's go ahead and save that. We're going to come back into Alien Invasion now, and we need to import that alien class. So we're going to go from alien, import the alien class. And again, that gives us the ability to type simply the alien class without having to tag it alien.alien. So in our alien invasion initialization, we are going to, after we create the bullets right here, we're going to come down and we're going to do self alien with an S, aliens, and that's going to equal a pygame sprite group. So pretty much the same thing we did with the bullets, we're going to do here with the aliens. And then we're going to come down a couple lines here and let's just create, we're going to call the create fleet. And that's going to be a helper method. So you see we're going to go with this. We're going to have to write this method once we have entered it here. If we don't create it, then we're not going to be able to use it. Okay, so let's just scroll down here, see where we want to put this at. Believe we can put it right around here around the bullets. We'll come in here around line 66 for me. And we'll come in here and we'll define our create fleet method. And the create fleet will take just a single parameter, the self parameter, and we'll give this a doc string of create the fleet of aliens. And we're going to do that by first making an alien. We'll do that with alien equals alien self, and then we will call self dot aliens dot add the alien, because again the alien class requires an AI game to be sent, so we're sending the AI game that we're in currently. This alien invasion version is an AI game, so that self refers to the alien invasion, and that gets sent to the alien constructor, that's initialization method, and that's the AI that parameter that it's required, and that's going to get stored here as alien. And then self.aliens refers to that sprite group that we created, and we are going to add that alien to that sprite group. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and within our update screen, might be down here a little bit, update bullets, update screen. Here we go. So after we update the screen, we have our for loop for our bullets that we're drawing. We're just going to come in here and we're going to self.aliens.draw, and this is going to be a self.screen. There we go. So with that being done, we'll go ahead and save this. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. And you saw that it kind of flashed on there for a minute and went away. So it's telling me here that when I'm trying to add my alien, that's where I'm kind of having my issue. So let's go back up here. And yeah, I see what the error is here. alien with a lowercase a is an alien, and I should be adding the lowercase a alien. See how that kind of changed the color? Because I was making this alien, but I wasn't using it. So it was kind of making that a different color. Now that I'm using that alien, it likes it a lot better. So let's go ahead and run this a second time. And there we go. There's our ship. And here is our, well, the ship is down here, and there's our alien ship up there. So let's quit this. And we still got this print happening here. We don't need this anymore. We know that the bullets are working. So I'm just going to take out that print so we don't have that code running and printing down here all the time. Okay, so we have an alien. And in the next video, we're going to pick up here and we're going to build the fleet of aliens. All right, see you then.